a great game of lots of quality, but Arsenal certainly had more intent to win the game and fully deserved it, I felt.
It was a pretty tight game, wasn't it, Troy?
Yeah, it was, and I think Maresca summed it up there. Obviously, with the set pieces, that was it. But to me, just felt like Arsenal always had a threat where Chelsea weren't that great going forward, and we're going to get into that in a minute.
Yeah. Wayne, you picked out a very interesting tactical battle in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I just felt that Reece James had a job to do today, and he was man marking Declan Rice, which, coming back from injury, is very difficult to do. And I felt he struggled all game. He's trying to put into play the role his manager has given, but I think he struggled with it. And I think if we have a look at it here, so you look at Reece James and Declan Rice. So Reece is staying close to him. He should be where I've moved it back to here. But if you look at it here now, as it plays on, so Reece James is always thinking of Declan Rice. No one thought in his head. Here, look. Just here, he's not even looking at the ball. He vacates the middle of the pitch. Now, Declan Rice is very clever with his movements. You can see he's telling Partey to come into the space where Reece James should be. Thomas Partey comes into the space, receives the ball with no one near him, gets turned. But this was a theme all game, so nothing comes of this one here. But again, Reece James is just following Declan Rice around everywhere. So if you watch again here, Declan Rice now pulling Reece James out wide. Thomas Partey again coming into the space which Reece James leaves. Now you end up with Chelsea players getting moved all over the pitch. Thomas Partey gets the ball, turns, gets to the Chelsea back line. On another day, it's a real big opportunity for Arsenal. But this one was really interesting. If you look at Declan Rice and you look at Reece James and Jadon Sancho, his position here. So if you play it on, so what happens here is Reece James, all he has to do is communicate with Sancho, and Sancho can take Declan Rice, but he doesn't do that. Reece James follows him again, leaves a 34 yards. He's ran just to try and stay close to Declan Rice. Lewis Skelly sees that. He comes into the space. Now Jadon Sancho has to do more work to get back into the space. So Chelsea rotating out of possession, which is never good. Declan Rice has dragged Reece James out wide. But again here, if you watch Declan Rice, so Reece James has done all that work to get close to him, but then switches off. Declan Rice makes a good run forward, which he has been doing a lot over the last few weeks. Gets in a dangerous position, gets turned, pulls the ball back, and it's a good opportunity for Arsenal. So I just felt it was a job too big for Reece James to play.
Yeah, and then just to continue that with Reece James here with Moreno, obviously he should be tight. You look at Nkunku there, he should really be going, facing forward, trying anything short ball he has to go and get after. For some reason he decides to go back into the mess. Reece James just loses his man. Between the two of them, it goes in. But Wayne, you're not happy with the goalie, are you?
Yeah, I just think if you look at the goalkeeper, he's getting involved too much with all the other players, and now he's taking a backward step, which means he can't get the elevation to stop the ball going to the back of the net. I think if he allows himself and gives himself a little bit of space, even though there's bodies around him, then he's front-footed and potentially he might save it.
Yeah, that's a good spot, that. Chelsea have now lost to Troy 4 successive Premier League away games, winless in 7 on the road, and they were really poor going forward, weren't they?
Yeah, very toothless going forward. You're going to see a lot here now. They don't have Nicholas Jackson or Cole Palmer in this game, but they did try and press with Enzo Fernandez, or he gets through. But me and Wayne just noticed when we was watching this game, if it was kind of snatched and dragged, like he's never set there, never looks like he's going to go and score. Again, lovely ball over the top. Look, they're out there through Sancho. If they had a striker, they'd be in the box, but the card. Neto pulls to the edge of the box here. As it comes back to him, he's never set. Look, there's loads of bodies in front of him. Snatches at it. And Nkunku snatched at it again. It finally works all the way to Cucurella. And I think David Raya thought, you know what, let me try and help him and throw it in my goal, see if they can help. But if you look, they're shooting in these areas. It's more from hope than actually going with any intent to do it again. Enzo again doing that there. But Neto, a winger, you'd expect him to move the centre-half here. He doesn't, tries to shoot through. And this was the one really that summed it up for me with Neto. Look, you've got the centre-back backtrack. You get at him, he does it, he hits it over wide. And then, Wayne, you noticed this, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I just thought, you know, it's in the 91st minute of the game and Chelsea need the goal, obviously, to get back in the game to try and get to come away with the points. But there was no movement. We've highlighted the attacking players here. There's a lack of movement, a lack of creativity, a lack of invention, and the tempo's slow. And then eventually, but Arsenal in a good shape. They try and force a pass. Arsenal win the ball, get control of the game again, see the game out comfortably. So I just felt there was no real desire to real push Arsenal and try and get something out of the game towards the end.
Yeah, and look at this, lowest expected goals under Enzo Maresca, Troy.
Yeah, and I think it's a very cheap line to say, no Nicholas Jackson, no Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer played for a lot of these games, and when they're not good, Chelsea, they don't look like they're going to score, and that's something they have to do, have a plan B.
Yeah. Let me just ask you then, Wayne, what you think, because Enzo Maresca said he thinks they're on the right path.
Yeah, no, I think obviously they've signed a lot of players and it's still a very young team, and I think there's been some really good signs from Chelsea this season. I think just that lack of experience as a group is probably catching up with them a little bit, but I do think over the next couple of years we're going to see Chelsea elevating themselves again, getting towards the top of the league again.
And of course they are missing Cole Palmer, we have to remember that.
Yes, but Cole Palmer's been off the last couple of weeks as well, so maybe he's been carrying injury, maybe a lot of games. It's hard for a young player to keep doing and be consistent. Nicholas Jackson is a big one for them, but again, for over £1 billion spent, to only have one striker in the building is pretty poor, so something they're going to have to rectify going forward. And if they want to be challenging, and this man can talk to it a lot better than me, but you need a proper goalkeeper and a proper centre-half, bits of the pitch that I think they need to...
That's true, they need a spine, don't they? A bit like Arsenal, really. That's the reason why they're 12 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, you do. Well, if you look at Chelsea throughout the years, obviously Peter Cech, John Terry, Makelele, Drogba, Lampard, you've got the spine of the team is solid and experienced, and they've ran the team, they've ran the dressing room. Chelsea at the minute don't have that, so I think it will take a bit of time, of course, but I do think they're on a good path.
OK, good stuff.
Let's go back to the Emirates. Let's speak to the man who won the game, Mikel Moreno, the match winner. Mikel, good to see you. How good does that feel today, winner in the London derby?
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, it feels amazing, always winning at home, even more in a London derby against a really good side. I think we are really happy. It was a tough battle today, 1-0 win for us, clean sheet again. So yeah, buzzing for the result, and hopefully we can get a momentum after this game. And luckily for us, we have now international break, but well, it's more time to, savor the victory.
Mikel, how are you finding having to play up front, having to use different style into what you're normally used to, and having the pressure of having to be the guy that maybe scores the goals for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's way different to playing as a midfielder, but I don't feel that pressure, to be honest. I think not being a striker is relief for me, because I don't feel the pressure like I should score every single game. The main thing for me is trying to help the team in the small details, from the pressing to positioning myself in the best spots for my teammates to be better, maybe drop when it's needed to get the ball and give some calmness with possession. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a different role to what I'm used, but I think I'm adapting really good.
Yes.
Mikel, Glenn Hoddle here. Congratulations on the 3 points. Just on the goal, normally the pack of 5 go to the back post. You changed it today. You flooded the near post, and then you get across that front man. Did you just flick it to an area, or were you trying to score?
Well, to be honest,
he was trying to score.
I was trying to get the ball in an area closer to the goal.
Yes.
Obviously, in that situation, you don't really know where are the spaces. You have the small box, the zigzag box reference, so you try to flick it and put it near the goal. If somebody's there and can make it up in, is great. If you score directly, is great. But I think the tough part for me is just to up the body and put the right shape to try to flick it. And I think I did it, and I was lucky today.
Yes.
And in that role, 7 games in all competitions, 4 goals. You must be delighted with that since the manager asked you to take up the reins.
Yeah, surprised. I think with this team, we have so much quality with the players around the striker that it makes the job easier for me. I'm not focused on scoring goals, as I said before, but they keep coming, so they're welcome.
And do you feel finally that responsibility up there in the absence of others? Are you thriving on that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody feels their responsibility when someone of the big names that we have on the team is missing. Everybody has to step up, and now it's my turn as a striker. Next game could be the turn of other player, but the main thing is that everybody, takes responsibility and tries to do a better job, get together. And now I'm doing it. It's my turn to try to help the team. The coach asked me to play in this position, and whatever the team needs.
Well, you certainly helped them today. Match winner. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. Good to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Same.
That's Mikel Moreno at the Emirates. Now, before we move on, Righty talking about his goal there, we've gone back to 1993, 94 actually, 93-94 season, to give you this to look at compared to Mikel Moreno's today. Who does the header better?
Yeah. I think I've done it much better than Mikel Moreno.
Well, I think the opposition manager that day should have done his homework better, personally.
I'm just looking at it thinking, I know that kid. I was manager. I said, no, I know what I said before the game. I said, let them cross it because Righty can't head the ball.
Right, well, let you have a laugh now because we're going to watch Spurs' goals.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Fulham, more importantly, 200th Premier League game. Indeed. And as you said, Righty, they found a way.
Yep.
And they've got a set play goal again.
Yeah, which, judging by the way we were finishing today, it probably needed to be a set-piece goal. But again, the ball in from Martin Odegaard was something that, if we're going to really be critical about it, it should have been cleared. But in the end, they won the game, which is great. But I was a little bit more disappointed in the fact we've got to try and do more in respect of scoring goals. Because once it's 1-0, Gaffer, as we all know, it's never done. But we're just fortunate that Chelsea was so poor today again.
Yeah, no, very much so. I think they did enough, Arsenal. I think it was one of those performances where if you perform like that, they could have easily, against a better opposition on the day, probably would have lost the game maybe, because they were pretty ordinary themselves. But the set play has come up trumps for them. A slight change in what we said before. They hadn't scored for some games now from set plays where they were very successful, and they just changed it. They all went to the near post, caught Chelsea out a little bit, and the goalkeeper started getting engaged in the players that were around him, which he shouldn't have done. And they end up, that's the difference between, no points and getting the 3 points today. And it wasn't a great performance from Arsenal, but they'll be absolutely delighted. Play that average and win. That's what you need at this stage of the season. Yeah. Just to keep in that race, like we spoke before the game. You've got to still be in the race, just in case Liverpool do trip up.
Are you pleased with Mikel Moreno? Because, as he said, I haven't played as a striker since the age of 8. He's been asked to do a job, and he's weighed in with a few goals now.
He has, and it's been brilliant for us because, again, you've got somebody who's coming in and trying to fill a role, like we've seen Kai Havertz do so well. But what's good about Mikel Moreno in that area as well is that his touch and his link-up play is very good as well. And he is that focal point just in case you do want to go long. But again, the goal he scored today was because it came from a set piece. It's not...
But at this stage of the season, you just got to get the job done, I guess.
Yes, and I think we deserve to win the match as well. I think we were the better team. We didn't concede anything apart from that strange save from David in the first half against the team that, in my opinion, are the best attacking team in the league. And we scored the goal. We had so many big opportunities and big open chances to finish many more actions than we did actually. But overall, a very important game that is going our way.
Below you, it's incredibly tight, isn't it? All the teams pushing.
Yeah, that's why I think from now on is how also we manage a little bit emotion in terms of if you win a game, you see yourself close to the target. If you don't win, you see yourself far from the target. But until the end, it will be like this. We have still 9 games to go, but now it's time to recover energy for the final part.
Why didn't that second goal come just... lack of fortune?
Yeah, lack of fortune, lack of the final pass and the right decision when the situation was so open because we had so many of them today. Unfortunately, we didn't finish them.
And if you can't win the league and you're still in the chase, I know you won't give that up, you need to finish in the Champions League. This is a massive win for you today because there's a big gulf now between you and 5th, 6th.
Yeah, it was a big game, obviously, and we wanted to win and get that feeling again before the international break against a top team. We've done it. And let's go game by game.
I don't think between us and them there was big difference in terms of clear chances, and then at the end we lost, from set pieces.
Mikel Arteta described Chelsea as the best attacking team in the Premier League after Arsenal's narrow victory at the Emirates Stadium. In a low-key affair, Mikel Merino's first-half header fired Arsenal to a 1-0 win over Chelsea on Sunday. Chelsea created little of note, clearly impacted by the absence of Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson and Noni Madueke. Despite Chelsea's toothless display, the Blues were hailed as the best attacking team in the league by Arsenal boss Arteta. "I'm very happy, obviously, with the result and with big parts of the performance," Arteta said after Arsenal cut Liverpool's lead at the top of the Premier League to 12 points. "We had a lot of chances and then we concede almost nothing apart from a strange save from David Raya. That's huge credit to the team because in my opinion Chelsea are the best attacking team in the league." Asked to clarify his somewhat strange claim, Arteta added in open play, "Yes. By a mile. The stats say it and everything that I've seen says it. They can open you up, they have individual quality, they can go in behind, they go from both sides and they are missing some big players. I have a lot of data and I see how they play." Chelsea are currently fourth in the Premier League, 9 points behind second-placed Arsenal and 21 points adrift of leaders Liverpool. Enzo Maresca's side have scored 53 goals this season, the same amount as Arsenal but fewer than Manchester City and Liverpool. Given his stance, Arteta was asked whether he expected Chelsea to be a major force in the Premier League next season. "Yes," he replied. "Having the injuries has not helped them but the manager is really good and the squad and the players, the quality is there." Turning his attentions back to his own team, Arteta said we should have done much more but we are very happy and it was an important game. We play a top opponent and the team played with an unbelievable spirit and now we go to the international break. The only thing we can do is try to win our matches. If we do, we are in a better position. On the performance of makeshift striker Merino, the Gunners boss said we have had top players out for many months. Our team has an incredible resilience.